Good morning everybody, it's Christian from Serene Education with the 4 major analysis update for the 11th of May 2011. So we're going to be looking at the 4 majors on our CTC strategy template, starting with Euro. Let's have a look at the daily time frame. You can see that price has pulled back after testing 148500 mark, a number of days headbutting, confirming a lot of indecision. And what we wanted was a decision candle, and we got that. And we've seen the price fall significant since then. And what we're seeing now is price hesitating around the 50 period moving average at 143500. We've had an indecision candle and then a slight, almost like a hammer, where the open and close of yesterday was higher than the previous day. Ideally, we want to see price staying above the 1430 or 14300 mark. This will just confirm a pullback. If price fails to close or trade higher off the 14300 and close below the 14300 mark, then we're looking at a negative situation forming, primarily because it's now broken a previous support and resistance level, and we could see price trading lower. CTC, we do have a red arrow, and today's candle has started out red. However, we've got to wait for obviously the full CTC thing to occur, where we have the red candles and the CTC on our side has gone red, in order to look for a potential long-term shorting opportunity. So as it stands now, you can see that previously we have a strong support and resistance line roughly around the 142500 mark. The 50 period moving average is now trading above the 14300 mark, and we've had a support being found. Oops, if I can get this right. There we go. There you go. At roughly just around the 143,700 mark. So if price can stay above that level to start with, or even the 14300, that's 50 pips difference there. So it's quite a big spread. But as long as it can stay above that area there, then what we could see is a potential for further upside movement. Price needs to close well below the 142,500 mark to confirm that this is definitely a bearish intervention in the market, and we're going to see further shorting opportunities. We could see the 142,500 being the support. We've been there before. Prior resistance on a number of occasions and prior support on a number of occasions. So a telltale area where we could see this pair fair. If we definitely see a bounce to the upside today, another bullish engulfing, then we could see potential upside movement again. If I did see that, we could see another indecision candle and a close lower than at least the prior 2 days. Could see the 142500 mark retested, and a close below that would definitely signal bear sentiment. So intraday, we should see consolidation occurring. If you look at an hourly chart, you can see that's indecision over the past couple of days. We had an all-time high on this pair. We had a breakout previously at just above the 1452 area, and a breakout pull down, and then we had price pull back just above the 1443,300, and that's where price is sitting at the moment now. Notice that this prior sitting level was lower than this one, so we see market sentiment still shifting to the downside. CTC is still negative by this blip. What we're seeing at the moment here is a higher swing, and this one is higher, so we can see momentum. Even though it's going sideways, momentum is to the upside on an hourly. However, this will be short-lived if it can't break and trade above 144500, and even then after that, then it definitely needs to be trading well above the 145200 mark in order to see definite movement to the upside. So as things stand now, you can see that posting higher swings, which is a good sign of trend direction to the upside. However, We don't want to see a consolidation occurring, a failure at 14,300, and then because the CTC is negative to the downside, we're having lower swings, then we can see price just revert back to the downside again. 30 minutes, you can see price just going sideways. The 200 period moving average now is coming into play. As I mentioned, we had a previous resistance level here, and the breakout is above the 1452.51 mark. So you can see the 200 period moving average coming into play now. Higher swings, but still a very strong ceiling level. Failure to break and trade higher than this area here, we'll definitely see a consolidation taking place and then further downside movement. Next up is sterling. Past couple of days we've seen price pull back from an all-time high, and we're now reverting to the downside. CTC is still blue, however. We have had a red arrow form just recently, but the CTC overall, candlesticks, etc. are still all blue, and we seem to be heading lower after a consolidation. We've seen the Asian market trade lower than a previous support area at roughly the 1636.42 mark. So we just pencil that in, 1336.42. So we go to an hourly, 1336. There we go. Prior support, breakouts. This is wicks, but ultimately around this area here is the intraday support area. There we go. Just marked it out, and we're now trading lower than that. Price needs to close lower on an hourly. If it can close lower than that, then we expect a potential. You can see we had higher swings. Just keep that in mind. But as long as it's trading below that area, then obviously we can see negative is still to the downside, and because we're breaking lower than a previous support area, then we could look at obviously further downside movement because of that. Generating CCC is well in our favor to the downside. You look at the 30 minute, for example, here again, there we go, that's that area. So just keep that in mind. Okay, you can see the swings are getting lower on a bigger time frame. The market direction is south. The 200 period moving average is acting as a resistance level, and we're heading lower. Notice, however, the swings. In this case, this one's higher than that one, so we know it's up. So we're going into a squeeze pattern now, a wedge pattern. You can see most of the CTC is red, and you can see we're posting lower swings, so we are definitely in a shorting cycle for this pair. Just be aware though, if I go to a 4 hour, that there is a definite support area where the 200 period moving average is trading now, and that is roughly around the 1633 mark. 163300 would be ideally our next target. So looking at 163300 being our long-term support area. You can see price has been there in the past. You can see the lower swings for this pair as it's been moving down, moving average crossovers, CTCs in our favor. But we need to be aware that there could be a potential pause at roughly around the 163300 mark. We've been there before. 200 period moving average is trading in that area. Just be aware that this is a 4 hour time frame. One thing to notice today for sterling is later on this morning we have the Bank of England Governor Merv King speaking. There's also the BOE inflation reports at roughly the 10:30 a.m. GMT time. So expect those figures first before we look at possible trades today for this pair here, UK against sterling. Next up we have the US dollar against Swiss franc. Let's have a look at the daily time frame. Here again we've seen the US dollar rally against the Swiss franc recently, after seeing a very negative trend evolve, intermediate trend here. We had a breakout of the 0.900 mark recently, and we saw price trading lower, and then significantly we've seen a bullish engulfing pattern occurring around the 8600 mark, and we saw price bounce to the upside. It's now testing. The last 3 days we've seen price relatively moving sideways, roughly just under the 20 period moving average, acting as a ceiling level. So ideally we want to see price trading higher than that, and if possible trading higher than the area, the breakout of this area at the 88.2700 mark to start with. So let's have a look at the intraday charts. So you can see that ceiling level roughly around the 88.200. Got to be trading higher than that. CTC is extended to bullish, but you can see upside movement. Just be aware that there is definitely a ceiling level at the 88.200 mark, and we need to see price trading well above that in order to give us confirmation we're going to see further extensions to the upside. The 30-minute chart, you can see CTC is well extended blue, but we're seeing lower swings. So as of play of yesterday, we saw an all-time high, and then through the Asian market we've seen lower swings. So you can see that the market direction is to the downside at the moment. CTC is still extended blue. Be aware that we need to be trading well above the 88.200 mark to confirm further upside movement. So look for potential bounce at where price is trading now, primarily around the 8500 mark, and we could see a reattempt of that 88.20 mark soon. Last pair of the day is the US dollar against Japanese yen. Let's have a look at the daily time frame. Here again, like it's the US dollar against the Swiss franc. We've seen the US dollar rally in the last couple of days. Bullish engulfing pattern here on a daily time frame, cancelled out the previous day. This significantly gives you an idea that there should be upside movement or consolidation taking place. So that would be the new support area, roughly around a 80 figure, which is a round number. And then we had an up day followed by a close lower, but we've seen price continue to the upside. CCC is still negative though, primarily because we're still trading below all the moving averages on this time frame. CTC is well extended. Just remember that this pair, if I just zoom out now, you can see how price has been trading, consolidating in a band between these 2 points here. You can see definite consolidation. There's two very distinct places, the 85.50 mark. There's another one here around at the 80.5, and then we've had some further points between that, running about the 84.50 mark. Another one roughly around the 81.50. So you can see price has been channeling sporadically between 2 points, and what we're seeing is price now trading higher than the 80 market support area and above the 80.50. So as long as it can stay above 80.50 now, we could see price reattempting the 81.50 mark. We've been there before, so look for an intraday further upside. Let's have a look. If you look at the hourly, for example, you can see price is now trading above the 200 period moving average, which is a good signal. As I mentioned, that 80.50 is another area it's been trading above the 80. So we put all these lines in. 81.50 is the next port of call for this. You can see price is trading above this area is 81.50. So price needs to be breaking above this Asian market high now in order to confirm further upside movement. We're now trading above all the moving averages. CTC is in our favor. However, we have a consolidation candle or heads up candle. The CTC has given us a red arrow, so just saying be aware. And sure enough, we are trading at a intraday support and resistance level running around the 81.50 mark. Got to be trading higher than this during the course of today to see further extensions to the upside, and our next target would obviously be the 81.50. Let's have a look at another time frame. You can see the consolidation over the Asian market after posting a high. So ideally you want to be seeing price trade well above that 81.05 mark. Failure to do so would obviously see price pulling back. You can see the higher swings and the consolidation area for this. So we've had prior support area and resistance at the 80.80. So if it can stay above the 80.80 mark on a 30-minute time frame at least, then what we could do is see a reattempt of this prior resistance level at 81.05 to start with. So and ideally, if we're trading higher than this going into the US session today, then we can definitely going to see further extensions to the upside for this pair. That's it, guys, for today. Hope you have a fantastic trading day. Nix and I just got back from a business trip to Spain, so there's a lot of work to be taken care of here. We're going to get back into the swing of things again. We've got some students coming over this weekend for some mentoring. It's going to be fantastic. And then, yeah, just get back into trading again, and look forward to talking to you guys during the course of the couple of days. All the best, and most importantly, trade serene.